What's going on, people? My name is Alex Elliott and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Grace M905 stereo monitor controller digital version. Now there is an analog version as well, but I did get the digital version because of the AES capability and I wanted to be able to use the DAC inside of this unit. But first things first, we need to just get the elephant out of the room. Elephant out of the room, is that even the saying, bruv? Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. This thing is not cheap. This thing is expensive. And I have to be completely honest, I've wanted one of these for so many years. And whenever I saw how much it cost, I was like, there's no way I'm ever spending that much on a monitor controller. But the problem is I went around the fences. So I bought the cheap monitor controllers. I tried the PreSonus stuff. And what it was doing to the sound was just so noticeable. I also tried some passive versions like the Heritage Audio stuff. And then I also tried the recent Franklin Audio one. Honestly, that one was the best out of all of the passive ones. But even then, I was noticing a change. And I haven't spent this much money on my DAC, my Lynx Aurora N. I haven't spent this much money on my monitors. As much as I'm using the PMC 62s now, prior to these, I was actually using the Amphion 218s and the FlexBase sub, which is why when you see some of the B-roll of this unit, when I first got it a few months ago, the setup looked a little bit different. But whenever it came to buying the thing that connected the whole thing together, I was trying to cut corners. I wanted a Lamborghini, but I wanted to get it at the price of a Volkswagen Golf. There's nothing wrong with a Volkswagen Golf, but it's not a Lamborghini, and I'm in the business of driving fast. I hope this analogy is making sense. And this thing, I strongly believe this is the best monitor controller that's ever been made. And because of that, it cost how much the best monitor controller that's ever been made cost. I have no affiliation with Grace Designs. I paid full price for this unit and I got it from SX Pro. Shout out to Dell over at SX Pro. So I'm not gaining any benefit from saying such things. I just know that there's someone out there that's thinking about getting this thing and the price is painful, and this video is for you and to convince you that just take the plunge, do it once. What's it? Buy nice. If you buy nice, you don't have to buy twice. I think that's what they say. That's absolutely what this unit is. And I'm going to take you through every single thing it could possibly do. Let's check it out together. So first things first, when I say to you that there's nothing that this thing can't do, I have everything I could possibly hope for inside a monitor controller, whether that's talkback, whether that's sending my monitor output to my queue for like headphone mixes, mono, but also if I hold this button, it then flashes and that enables me to just monitor the sides only. So when I'm doing MS stuff, I can really check things really well with that. Dim, but then also if I hold this button down, then on the headphones, I get X feed and you can set the X feed amount. I set it up in the settings so that when I hit the middle button, it mutes the speakers automatically and will switch to my headphones. I also have a default load up level for my headphones and for my speakers. If I hold this button in, it sets it to the level that I set, which is 68 decibels, which is where I monitor most of the times. And then you've also got mute and you've also got sub mute, or if I hold it down, sub solo, if I had a sub plugged into the sub input. I've got several different inputs. I can monitor ADAT, I can monitor SPDIF, I can monitor AES1 or AES2. And with this system, I have it set up so AES1 is actually going to my speakers. And I did that by going to setup and I hit mono button to get up settings, hit mono again, then loop source, digital speaker 1. So essentially an AES signal is coming out of my Lynx into the Grace M905, and then out of the Grace M905, the loop source is going to my speakers. And when that's set as digital speaker 1, then this volume is now controlling my PMC 62s so I can run them AES with this monitor controller. In addition to that, speaker 1, I can set a speaker name. I also have a monitor level offset so I can set per speaker what I want the level of each one to be. So say, for example, you get some speakers and some are louder than others. You could use this level offset to balance them. And then also I can name the speaker as well. If I just click here, I can go through and I can name the speaker. So I've named this one PMC 62. I've named this one the box 2, which is the angry box. I need to figure out what my third set of speakers is going to be. I can also monitor USB, and I can monitor Toslink, and I can monitor Q. I can also monitor my balanced input. If I had like a XLR output from my audio interface coming into this and I wanted to use it analog, I could also monitor that way as well. I have a speaker SBL meter, so when I'm mixing, I can also check whether I'm monitoring too loud. And this has been really good because sometimes I really want to turn it up, but when it gets too far above 80, I have a visual cue to be like, okay, don't go too far above 80. And then in addition to that, this actual controller itself is plugged in via this kind of old school, and it looks like a SCAR cable from back in the day, but this plugs into the unit, which is actually underneath here. I actually had this sitting on top of my Grace M905 because I needed to lose 2U on this desk in order to be able to have, you know, this little system going on. But the great thing with this is at the back, you can actually plug the headphones in here. And I can also plug the headphones in on this side. Underneath here, I have my power button and the headphone amp, but I'm using it to just have my Stream Deck on top. But the headphone quality being plugged into this versus being plugged directly into the unit is indistinguishable. And without further ado, this just feels great. And being able to boost in 0.5 dB increments, you don't realize how valuable this actually is until you work on a monitor controller that every time you turn it, it's turning it by like 3 dB or 4 dB. That, honestly, I could never go back to that. Being able to can just fine tune and just go into detail how much I want the volume to be. And as you turn it, you've got this little click, this little kind of tension that happens each time. Like, honestly, the whole thing just feels like the Lamborghini of monitor controllers. So if you're on the fence about this, bruv, I highly recommend it, and I really do think it's worth the money, even though it is ridiculously expensive. But anyway, my name is Alex Elliott. If you are new here and you want to know a little bit more about me and my music, then be sure to check out my website. Other than that, drop a like, drop a comment. I'd love to hear what you think, and I look forward to seeing all of you next time.